Hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US. And I am here because I have a special live for you. It's a Friday instead of a Wednesday. I am going to show you some alternate projects, my first set of alternate projects that I created with the June 2024 Life is Sweet Paper Pumpkin Kit. I received the kit, I think it was, I don't remember when it was, just recently. I'm not one of the first ones to ever get the kit, and I just sit there and I'm anxious because all these people are getting the kits before me, and mine finally arrived. And so when I get my kits, I dive in and I sketch out ideas and stuff, and I just had to share sooner than later. I was actually going to share my first set of alternates on the 25th. Today's the 21st. I couldn't wait. So I hope that's okay with all of you that I'm going live today. It's an impromptu live. Thank goodness we have Trisha and Lisa who are able to join as moderators today. When I scheduled the live, I had checked with them right before. So all of you are getting this last minute invite, and I'm so grateful that you can come. So today, right now, it is June 21st at 1 p.m. Central Time. And a big welcome to all of you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. When you comment, it just makes the lives more fun, right? We also have moderators, Lisa and Trisha, who I just mentioned. They're here to answer questions as we go through the live so that I don't have to actually watch and look at every question that rolls in. And it's really tough. Otherwise, I get super distracted and then I forget what I'm going to share. But a big welcome to you all, and a special welcome if this is the first time you're tuning in. I hope that you enjoy what you see, and I hope that you consider tuning in again the next time. So in this video, I'm going to share step-by-step directions for these 3 cards. I've created 3 cards. And again, these are alternate projects. So what I like to do is I take kits. And we have 2 kit lines. The first kit line that was ever created is the Paper Pumpkin kit line. And I've been creating with them since March of 2013 when they first began. What I do is I take kits and I like to change up how those parts and pieces get assembled. Okay, so I make different cards. I make scrapbook pages. I make 3D projects, gifts, and things like that out of kits. I really like to double, triple, and quadruple kits too. So you'll see that if you ever search, if you go to my blog or my website at stampyourartout.com and you click in the search bar and you put in the name of the kit or whatever, you can oftentimes see me taking the supplies, adding some extra cardstock, and making multiple cards from one kit. So it's a fun thing. I don't know. I just get in my most creative mode when kits are in front of me. So I'm going to do 3 cards for you that I couldn't wait to share. One of them is kind of really outside the box. That's the last one I'm going to share. And the blog post for this is already actually live. So if you want to wait and be surprised by the cards, you can not click on that link that's already in the description of the YouTube video, or you can go and click on that link now and see the projects before I share them. Again, this is the Life is Sweet kit. I think that's it. So we're going to dive down to the desktop. I do not have a PDF. I don't ever do PDFs with the, like it's a resource PDF. I don't do those with my Paper Pumpkin lives. So I hope that's okay with you. But when I do multiple projects, it's really hard to do the measurements and supply lists for everything on one sheet of paper. This is the insert that came with this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. And you can see that this kit has supplies to make those 3 different style cards, and you make 3 of each. It comes with envelopes, there's a stamp set, there's inks, there's adhesives. The only thing that you would need for making these cards is like a paper snips or a scissors, right? You get the step-by-step directions inside, as you just saw. On the back side, you can see an image of all the supplies. They have also got another image here that shows some coordinating dies. Every time we have a new quarter of the year, so January, February, March, April, May, June, which is what we're in now, and then July, August, September, etc., you're going to see a set of dies that coordinate with that quarter's kit. The last 2 kits, so for what are we in? April and May, we had a couple dies that worked with those kits. This is the one that is coordinating with this month's kit, and I'm actually going to use it today. This is the, I forgot the name of this. It doesn't say it here. Anyways, it's a die set. I've got it right here. The Thanks and Beyond dies, okay? So, but you could use them really with any projects that you're working on. This QR code is to help you find the instructional video that Stampin' Up! Puts out to show you how to make the cards as shown. But again, I like to do alternates. So let's get started. This is the block that you get in your first kit. So if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin kits, I urge you to subscribe just to try it out. When you subscribe, it's not like a magazine subscription where you have to commit for a certain number of months. You subscribe so that it's set to go automatically for you each time, but you can cancel at any time. So you can try it out for 1 month and then cancel if you want. But you get a clear block in your first kit ever, and you can use that over and over again, or you can, substitute for ergonomic blocks that Stampin' Up! Has in our online store. We have like all different sizes. I'm going to be using size D today, but I would say for this kit, sizes C and D work really well. That is this size D, and then size C is slightly smaller like this. You get a stamp set. I've got some stamps removed from it, but these are the images that you get. I've already got these mounted. We're going to be using a few. So these are the stamps, and then you get ink in your kit. So every kit comes with stamps and ink. This is a little ink spot. It's a mini ink pad, and it's in the color Shy Shamrock. I have my large Shy Shamrock here on the table because it's going to be easier for me to use. It comes with adhesives, and these are the adhesives. Oh, there's also my twine in there. Comes with embellishments too. You get pearl embellishments in this one, and you get twine. And then in this kit, as far as adhesive goes, we get the little roll of tear and tape. You get some dimensionals in there, the mini dimensionals, and then you get some glue dots. But I'll be adding in my extra adhesives. I like to use these glue dots every once in a while. They're just a little bit more hardy. And then I always add in my seal. It's super quick to use. We'll probably need extra dimensionals, so I have an extra sheet of dimensionals. And then the multi-purpose liquid glue, which I like to transport into transport. I like to put it into the precision tip bottle. I have a video on that, by the way, if you're having troubles with that. So just look in my YouTube list there. But this is my precision tip bottle, which needs cleaning, I guess. And that is what I like to squeeze the glue out of because this nozzle is a little bit bigger. What else can I tell you? I think that's it. I'll be using a few extra supplies, and those are listed in the description of the video, which I'll transfer over to those of you that are watching on Facebook, so you have that information after the live is done. But you can also click on the link in the YouTube description and see all the visual supplies, or just scroll down in the YouTube description and see everything. I want to share with you something that I don't know, was this advertised or not, but this kit coordinates a bit with the Mediterranean Bloom Suite, which we just used last week on Wednesday. This week on Wednesday, 2 days ago, to make 3 projects for my live, right? And the way that it coordinates is this die here is an exact shape that matches some of the pieces in the kit. And then these leaves are very identical. In fact, this little die here, there's like an expanded or larger version of it. So that's a way to play around with your kit some more too, is get products from that suite so that you can go beyond and do other alternate things. Let's start with kit supplies. So you saw on the back of the brochure that these are the pieces that you get, right? So you get a bunch of envelopes, you get the card bases, you get layers, all these little extra fun die cut layers and vellum layers. There's some vellum leaves. There's little strips for sentiments. And then glitter words, yeah. Yep, and this kit, bonus by the way, includes 4 of the 5 new in colors. So you get Shy Shamrock, you get Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Pretty in Pink in this kit, which is why I want to introduce to you this set of supplies. Now, it's bigger. You get 12 by 12 sheets of these, but I cut them into little strips. These are the in color glimmer paper pieces, and so you'll want to probably get some in color stuff too if you're going to do alternates. Let's play. The first card I'm going to share with you is using this base, and instead of folding it this way, we're going to fold it this way. And I'm going to click on something so that I can see, so I can see myself, because I've been just talking to the camera. That's a good thing, right? Sometimes you get distracted when you look at, a reflection. Anyways, so now we have the pink on the inside, right? There's the pink. Here's the front. This is light enough where you can write on it, so I'm not worried about that. I just wanted some pizzazz on the inside of the card. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Cindy gave a little reminder. I would love it if you gave thumbs up. That would be awesome. So on the outside of this, we're going to use some of that vellum that I was talking about. And you get these pieces. Remember, they coordinate with those dies that I was saying? See, it's the perfect size. It's so awesome. And then we're going to be using the frame piece too. Sorry, it's connecting to everything. We're going to use that, and it lines up perfectly. But we're going to flip it over this way. And because this is already die cut, the easiest way to put adhesive on the back side is not with the glue dots that come in the kit, although you can do that because that's what it instructs you to do, right? But let's take our glue. So we want the white side onto the vellum. I'm going to grab this silicone sheet. It's like a little rubber mat. And I'm going to grab some of my multi-purpose liquid glue and just a tool that I do have linked in my my favorite extras in my blog or my website. So if you go to my website and oops, there it is. If you click on my website or you go to my website and you click on shop and then go to my favorite extras, you're going to see things like sponges that I cut into smaller shapes. You're going to see things like my little holders that I have for my glue. Lots of fun stuff. In fact, if you live locally, I just showed something from the Country Hive. If you live locally and you're coming to our big annual crafting garage sale that I put on with my team of demonstrators, they don't have, she's not going to have this, I don't think, but Ashley from the Country Hive came last night and dropped off what she's calling factory seconds. So if you're a big Country Hive fan, check out what she has by coming to our sale. And I'm sorry, if you don't live locally, I can't sell anything to you through email or links or things like that. You have to come. Sorry. All right, so here we go. Thanks, Lisa, for putting up the link there. We're going to go ahead and start sponging on the back side of this. And I'm keeping this held down in the same place because the glue can get underneath if you let this move. We don't want it to move on us. And you don't have to get every single area, but we want to make sure that we're getting glue on most of it. Okay, now we'll lift it up, carefully bring this away. I'm going to bring in another one just so that we keep the surface dark here. Let's bring the vellum down. It's going to be easier to line up if we see a dark surface underneath. And then we'll just add this right onto that vellum. So it's all lined up. Takes a little bit of concentration. There we go. All right, and then for this, I would just take and go like this to get any extra glue off. I don't wash these anymore. It doesn't come out very easily. I just set it aside and keep using it and keep using it until it's just too hard to use. I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to, in fact, I might come back to it later, but I'm going to let it dry when I'm done, and I'm going to use packaging tape, to help peel off some of that adhesive. That's the quickest way I know to clean those guys off. Yes, I have a whole stack of of those silicone sheets. Okay, so we have our piece ready. Now we're going to take and add it to the front of our card. It's becoming a very elegant card, as you can see, white on white with some vellum. It's kind of looking, I don't know, like a wedding card, isn't it? Let's flip it over and let's add some adhesive so that we can pop it up. So the dimensionals, again, that come in the kit are the tiny ones. They're the mini dimensionals, so they go into small spaces. You can make them even smaller if you want to. You can cut into them to cut them in half if you need to. But what we want to do is grab these dimensionals and we want to be creative with where we add them. So we want to find little areas where they might not be noticed as much. So when you look at it on this side, you can kind of see that coming through. So let's move it a little bit more. Maybe we could put it right here. Oh yeah, that looks hidden now. You see that? You don't see that coming through. So we want to just kind of put these in a few different areas on the back side where the green leaves are basically making like a little shield. Okay, we're creating a little place. We're finding a little place where these can be shielded from being seen from the other side. And you can take and use the small ones too. So if you're putting some on here and you're like, oh, they're too big, you could take and put a real skinny one on that you've cut in half. In fact, these are actually pretty good areas here. So that's a nice thick area right there. And they don't have to be everywhere, just enough where you're kind of giving it a lift evenly throughout. Okay, now we'll peel off the backing. We're going to do this again, so don't make those dimensionals go too far. Let's peel off the little release papers from the back sides. And now we're going to flip it over. And you can choose whatever you want for your top or bottom. And we'll center it. And we'll stick it down. The next thing that we're going to add is one of our sparkly, sparkly words. You get, let's see here, you get some congrats. You get miss you. Where's my you? Here it is. Miss you. And you get hello. And they pop out pretty easily from the sheet that they come on. So you just, work on grabbing all those little parts and pieces out of there. You just kind of have to poke them with your fingers. And you could save those. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in this, right? Like that would be a really cool, I don't know, a miniature little foot in the winter with snow all over it. Let your imagination go wild. How is everybody today? We had a party last night at our house for my, what we call an upline, the person that I signed up under, Susan Campfield. If you know her name, because she is an online demonstrator now, and she made her million. She reached her million in sales. So we had a celebratory event for her last night, and it was supposed to be outside, but bless Mother Nature, she just decided we needed more rain in our area, and so it was rainy, and we had everybody in my house. There were about 26 people, maybe, on the first floor of our house. Well, actually, I lie, because most of us not most of us, but a few of us mingled into a different area of my house, so that, in my craft room, actually, right here where I'm talking to you. They were down there. Oops, that's too big. Down here, so that we had more space upstairs. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to cut a few of these, I think. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, we had a blast. We honored her. We had potluck, and she opened a bunch of cards that people had sent to me beforehand. So we got to see her receive all these amazing cards. A lot of them were fun folds or ones with really cool techniques. And oh gosh, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators know how to party really well. So we had a very creative time. But yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I was just thinking of all the fun we had, and I think I probably got like 4 hours of sleep. So if I fall asleep during the live, forgive me. I won't. I promise. Okay, so now we're going to peel off all the backings like that. I should have had one of these done ahead of time, but I did have stuff to talk about while we did that. Here we go. We're going to stick this down now. And again, using grid paper behind your project is always nice, because you can kind of use the lines of it to help, make sure that things are nice and straight. Use those visual lines. And that looks pretty good right about there. There's our congrats. Then I'm going to take the one of these pieces, and I'm trying to remember which one I already cut from. I think, oh yeah, it was this one, because you can see a missing part here. We're going to trim off just a little bit of this, and you won't even notice it when we add this to another project later on, because it's just a couple leaves, right? So there, now that's fixed. You can't even tell. We're going to grab these, and we'll stick a dimensional behind that, and we'll pop that down onto the card in this little spot here. I think I'm doing it the same way. I'm going to move it over a little bit. And then we're going to add a sentiment to the inside. And so we need one of those sentiment strips. Let me find which one it is. It's the long one. So again, everything comes where you just easily punch it out. Let's put this against some dark. Again, we'll put it here. We'll put it on the Stampin' Pierce mat. And we'll use our ink, the Shy Shamrock. See, we have a Shy Shamrock little piece here. So on the inside, it just kind of makes sense that we would use the Shy Shamrock ink. So that stamp is going to say, so much to celebrate. Congrats. So much to celebrate. I could see this being used for an anniversary, a wedding, you know, anything that's more elegant, or you know, maybe somebody's retired recently or something like that. So, or a baby. Now we're going to take and just add regular adhesive to the back side. Here's where you'd use the glue dots in the kit, or the tape, I should say. But I'm just going to add a little strip of that seal adhesive and open it up. Oh goodness, we have pink on the inside. So you see how we have pink here now? So what I want to do is, because we carried Shy Shamrock, this color, into the inside, I want to bring some of the pink onto the outside. So for that, we could use the pearls and color them with our Pretty in Pink Blends markers. But the pearls, if you notice, have sort of a vanilla tone to them. So because I do alternates, I have lots of extra supplies, right? So I decided I was going to use my more white sheen pearls. These are our iridescent pearls that you can buy separately. And we'll just grab our darker of the two, because when you buy blends markers, you get them in a pair. Mary, some people actually drive here. You're not in the States though, you said. But yeah, I mean, people actually drive from other states to come to the sale. It's a really, I've been doing it for years, and it's really well attended. It's fun. We have a blast, and we get to meet all these people from all over the place, mostly local, but it's fun to meet people that want to drive out for it. So feel free if you want to. I'm going to color in, I think, 4 small and 3 large. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, on my finished one I have that many. And then we'll just start adding them with the Take Your Pick tool, which I think I forgot to put in the supply list on my blog post. Sorry about that. But let's just add them in the same positioning that I had on my finished card. We'll use the sticky end of the Take Your Pick tool, and that just kind of, you push and you press it so that it releases from this plastic sheet here, and you can grab it and just stick it down. So we'll grab a couple more here for the bottom. We've got one about here, and this is, I think this is where the next one goes. I think I added on my finished one, on the blog post that's already live, you can see the bottoms of these two are slightly different because I flipped it, right? So here's the finished cards. The same card. This is the one I photographed for the blog. This is the one we just made. Obviously, well, here, we'll just lay them like that so you can see them. We're very close, aren't we? Did you like that idea, you guys? Isn't that fun? Yes, you could do that sometime. Just, you know, subscribe to my newsletter, because that's where I announce it, is in my newsletter. If you go to my website and you click on the subscribe button, then you can be added to my newsletter, and you're going to be the first ones to know when the garage sale is. So it's Wednesday and Thursday of next week, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time. Let's do the next card, you guys. Here we go. This is the next card base we're going to use. We're using the peach pie one. And again, we're going to actually fold it the opposite way. So let's go like this. I don't know why I creased it first the other way. And now we're going to take and do some cutting with our trimmer, which I think I forgot to grab. It's a good thing I do these in my craft room so I can have everything handy in case I forget something. So for this one, we're gonna determine what the front is. They both are pretty even. We'll make this the front. So we're going to trim out a 3/4 inch strip here, and then we'll leave 3 inches, and I believe this will be then 1 3/4 inches on that side. Let me check here. And you'll know what I'm talking about as this comes together. I'm just doing some measuring. Yep. Okay. So we're going to bring it into our trimmer, lay it right here on the score line. Okay. That should bring this edge to the 4 1/4 inch mark. And we're going to cut from the 3/4 inch mark on out. So I'm pressing the blade down here and I'm slicing. And then I'm going to lift it up again and start 1 3/4. 1 3/4 inches in would be at the 3 3/4 inch mark. So we'll lay it down there and we'll cut out. Okay. Now we can take and turn it this way. So here's our 3/4 inches. We're going to bring that edge over. On this side of the trimmer, we'll use this measurement, and we're going to cut starting at the score line out. And then we'll do the same thing over here, but this time we're going to use this side of the trimmer, and we'll go to the 1 3/4 inch mark for this edge, start at the score line, and trim out. Now if you have to, you can use your paper snips to separate anything that's still attached. Paper snips is the name that we give to our scissors, if you aren't familiar with that. There we go. So here is our base, our card base. We won't be using these pieces for this card, but don't throw them away, because if you do get creative as you start, you know, doing more and more projects, you're going to need those. Don't let those go. Oh, we need this though. All right, let's set that aside and let's grab an envelope. Now I'm going to use an envelope that I already cut into. So the way that I cut into it is I took our peach pie envelope, I trimmed off this edge, and I trimmed off this edge so that it could open up, right? And then I cut right through that score line there so that I had a long sheet of peach pie paper. And then, as you can see, I used, actually we will have to cut into this, won't we? Yep, we will. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I forgot, we're gonna use another piece somewhere else. Okay, so we'll do that. Cut and flip and cut and open and cut. All right on that score line. In fact, I'm gonna go slightly beyond it so that we're not cutting right on it. Sometimes if you have a blade that's not real sharp, you can get frayed paper if you cut right on a score line. So I try not to do that. I'm gonna cut on the other side of it right now. There we go. We got rid of the score line area. And now for that piece that's gonna go on the front, I'm peeking. Yep, we did use it. Okay, so we can cut from any of these, but what we need is a 3-inch wide, not quite 3 inches, sorry. We're gonna need a 2 7/8 inch wide piece by 4 inches or a little over 4 inches. And then we're gonna use a slightly smaller one. So we're gonna make 2 layers. One is just slightly smaller than the other. Let's start with the bigger piece, and we'll just use this piece for it. We'll trim that right about here to get rid of that section. We almost have a rectangle, so let's start with this in the upper left corner. And we've got our straight edge up at the top. We want to go to 2 7/8 inches. And we're going to trim. And then we're going to go to 4 1/8. And we're going to trim. So now we have a mess on our desk that you guys can't see. So now we have this piece, and we're going to use this side of it. And then from our other piece of envelope here, we're going to cut, here's our corner again, we'll put this in here, but we're gonna cut now at 2 3/8. I'm sorry, 2 3/4. So it's just, it was 2 7/8. We're going to be coming back a little bit. Now it's 2 3/4 inches. We'll trim, we'll rotate this way, and now we're gonna cut at 4 inches. So this piece is slightly smaller. We're gonna use the white side for that. We also need to do some die cutting for this next card. So you can use either the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is what I prefer because it's sturdy. It's just easier to hold on to. Or you could use one of the mini ones. We have this in white or a color called boho blue. They're 10% off this month. So nab those up. They come with the platforms that you need. We're going to start with our base platform. Turn it this way so you can see the numbers. There's number 1, number 2, scratchier plate number 3. Then we want our die from that set of dies called Thanks and Beyond. We want the one that says thanks. And we want our black scrap, which I swear, oh, here it is. Right there. There we go. We have a scrap of black cardstock. So when you're doing alternates, white, black, extra envelopes. These are always good because when you cut into envelopes, you're going to need other ones to, you know, give your cards in. So those are always wonderful to have. If you don't have like black ink, the tuxedo black ink is awesome. We'll be using that on this card. And then of course all those adhesives and tools. And sometimes having like an extra stamp set and is great because sometimes the sentiments that you get in a stamp set aren't always the ones that you want to use. You may want to make a wedding card out of a kit like this one here. I mean, we had the perfect sentiments for it, but sometimes you don't have the exact sentiments you want. So getting a stamp set like, I don't know, layering leaves or whatever, you can always do like extra wording that way. So here we have our thanks. Let's put this away. And let's bring in our layers. So we're doing a flap fold. It's a fun fold type card. It's called a flap fold. Basically, it's just a flap that folds on the top. And for this one, we need to add a sentiment piece on the inside. So we're going to stamp this right now with the sentiment in the kit that says, "Life is so much sweeter with friends like you." And again, remember I said we're going to use the tuxedo black ink. So we'll ink up and down. I like to mount my stamps diagonally. It just helps me to focus on the stamp image rather than the, sorry, I'm looking for my mat here. It helps me to focus on my stamp image rather than the block itself. Let's ink that up again in case it dried a little bit. Okay, and we'll just stamp that slightly up towards the top so that we have room to write below. There we go. And that one's ready. And then we're going to start adhering a few things here, okay? So let's put this on the inside, and that way the inside of our card will be done. Oh, we do have an extra little image to put in there. So I'm looking right now at, sorry, I should be explaining this. Here's the flap. I'm looking at these two edges here, and I'm centering this as best I can between those. And then, of course, centering between these two edges so that the flap, when folded down, will cover that up and look good. And then we'll add this layer, and this is going to just go straight on like so. And this one has a slightly wider base to it. So it almost reaches the white edges all the way around, but not quite. Let me zoom in again so that you're not having to look so far away when I'm working on it. Then we bring in our word and we do some cutting again. And I like to use the edges of my dimensionals for when I need to cut little strips. So we will do that again. Let's grab a few of those. And we'll add behind the T, the H. We won't make them so numerous like we did on our last one. The A. Oops, I think that one. Nope, it's not cut yet. Do a couple more here. We'll do one behind the N. Oops. Oh, we did have one on there. It just wasn't coming off. The K, because that's a tall one. And it would be nice if we could put just a little one right at the inner part of the S, because part of the S is going to come off the edge. So I don't want to get the whole S, just part of it. Let's peel off the back sides. And we're going to add that. But what I want to do first is lay out my pieces so I know that I'm adding this in the right spot. So let's set that aside. Let's grab our peaches. We have lots of peach images, little fun fruit. Just like the Mediterranean Bloom Suite, this kit is centered around fruit. The Mediterranean Suite has lemons and oranges in it, and this has peaches, lemons, and cherries. So we want one of each of the different kinds of peaches. There's 2 small, 1 sort of medium, and then 2 bigger ones. And we then want our vellum leaves. So our vellum leaves come on this sheet here. Oh, I didn't even see those flowers, you guys. I completely missed them. Look at, there's flowers. Those match the dies in the Mediterranean Suite. They're the exact same size flowers. Okay, so there's that. And for our card to complete, we want to have a branch going this way and a little bit off the edge, and a branch going this way. And that's going to go maybe a little off the edge there, but that's sort of where we're going to put it all. So then we want to lay our peaches, and I'm going to make my larger ones on the bottom. Hi, Karen. I'm going to make my larger ones on the bottom because they're closer to us. So thinking art class and perspective, I think they'll look good really the best like right here. And then our light and our dark peach up here. The light one's going to go behind our dark one like that. That looks good, which means our thanks can go right here. And we want to have that straight, and we have the S coming off the edge just a little bit. Now we'll pick this up, and we can see that we can add a little bit of adhesive, but just at the base of the leaf. So I'm going to bring in my precision tip bottle now, and we'll start adding the glue just in a couple spots, not all over, just at the edge there. So let's lay this down. Let's just put this kind of where it's going to be. And that one is going to be like right here. So that means our leaf will go right about here. Just estimating. It doesn't have to be perfect. This one is going to lie flat, so I could put just a little dab of adhesive under it. And this one is going to be up on dimensionals, so I could stick one or two of them behind the medium-sized peach here. There we go. All right, let's add these at the same time. And I believe I put them onto my card, my original card, like that. There we go. So that's those up at the top. You can see the shadow kind of creates that perspective too. So this peach, being that it's larger and darker, is also more far forward. Down here, let's see, I think we'll add adhesive to this portion, keeping the rest of it without adhesive, because adhesive shows through on vellum. For those of you that are beginning crafters, that is the reason I'm not putting it all over, is it shows through, and we don't want to have that adhesive all the way to the ends, or it's going to look kind of weird. So this one's going to be added flat. Again, I can just do a little swirl of adhesive on that, and for this one we'll put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and we'll peel off the back sides, and we'll add that one and this one at the same time. This one's going to be tilted in like it's leaning or laying down a bit, and this one will be on the card fully, so like that. There we go. And there's some balance because these peaches are up here and these peaches are down here. On the inside of the card, we have this last one, and we'll add that with just a little swirl of adhesive. Right, oh gosh. I think I stamped my words a little bit lower on my original card, but I don't have it open. Let's open it now and see. Yeah, it's a little bit lower, but that's okay. So there's the inside, there's the outside, and now you can see both of them at the same time. That is that finished card. I hope you liked that idea. Just a different way to use the kit. So alternates help because if you are not in love with the kit card projects the way they are, the way Stampin' Up! Intended you to make them, you can change it up. If you join the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club on Facebook, you are going to see tons of ideas every single month for every single kit. There's thousands of members. I want to say 36,000 members plus in that group. So there's ideas always posted in there. I have a team of administrators that help me out to approve posts and membership requests, and make sure that you fill out the membership questions, otherwise you can't get into the group. But it's a fun way to get even more ideas. We're going to trim this paper. This is 8.5 by 11 basic white. We're going to trim it at 4.25 inches. And then we're going to make the base of this a little bit smaller than 5.5. So you're going to think, oh, those measurements are odd, but they're not. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score, and I want to make sure I do this right here. Hang on. Got to measure it. I think it's 3. It is. Okay, and then we're going to measure at 3. So let's flip it around this way and use that side of the trimmer for that measurement. So we have a score at 1/2 inch and 3 inch. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. We'll just do it this way. There's my 1/2 inch. It's just harder to hold on this side. There's my 1/2 inch. and then here is my 3-inch. Okay, so we've got our score lines in there. Let's keep this in place and let's grab our other card base. So these, we've used all 3 card bases now for these 3 cards. This one we're going to use the whole entire base of as well. We're going to first cut it in half on the score line. And I'm going to turn it over so you can see. There's the score line. Let's just trim that at 4 1/4 inches. I have a good sharp blade, so it's cutting through the score line really well. Then we're going to trim again. You can decide which one you want to use. It doesn't matter. I think I used this one on the front. Okay, so we're going to trim this one in half. And half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4 inches. So this measures 4 1/4 inches this way by 2 3/4 inches this way. This will be the front of our card. So the card will still be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, but the base piece itself, when we fold that, you're going to say, oh, that's interesting. And you'll see why in just a minute. So now we're going to take and trim this one, and we're going to trim this one down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. It's going to be an inside layer for our card. Let's set that one aside for now and put our trimmer off to the side. Let's fold our base. So you're going to fold in on the 3-inch score line and fold out on the 1/2-inch score line. So we're making like a Z fold, but it's double because we got 2 of them. Doing the same thing here, and it's making a gate. So we're creating a double Z gatefold, all right? A Z gatefold card, double Z gatefold card. These now, so this measures 5 inches across because we had to use that extra inch here from our 11-inch piece, right? This is the extra inch. And we needed that because we have to have something to attach these panels to, which once attached will extend that card and make it bigger. So I have to look at my finished card, so I do this the same way. We're going to add this one first. So I think I'll use seal adhesive. And we're going to grab this piece. We're going to keep this all folded flat. We're going to add this. So it's right here in the middle, and it's meeting up with edges here, here, and here. All right? There we go. So there's that piece. That one you can be a little more free on. The next one, though, you want to be a little more careful with. Make sure it lines up. Oh, gosh, which one here? That one goes there. This one, yeah, I think it goes like that. So we're going to now connect this to the other layer that's already on the card instead of worrying about going right to the edge of the white. And that will help fill in any gap that you might have there in the middle. So now we have a 5 1/2 inch wide card. All right, super duper. This layer goes on the inside. And we'll just add that straight. Oops, flying paper. And I think I've added it like this. Oh, wait, got to trim it smaller. Sorry. I was thinking it was 5 1/2 inches on the inside. It is not. It is not. It's 5 inches on the inside. So we have to go an 1/8 of an inch shorter on this layer. It's 5 inches. Gosh, I just said that like a million times, didn't I? And our adhesive is still plenty there. Now we can get it into this section with a 1/16 inch white edge all the way around. There's that layer. Okay, now we can bring in that strip of glimmer paper. Okay, you can use either one really. I want to say I used this piece. So this color here is Summer Splash. It's a lighter version of it. And this color here is the Shy Shamrock, right? So you have the blues and the greens that are very close to each other in this kit. I added this piece. And I just added it straight in the middle, like this. And then I stamped a sentiment, another long one that says, "Wish you were here." And this time I stamped it in the kit ink color, Shy Shamrock. That pad is somewhere on my desk. Here it is. When I do more than one card, things get lost. I got it though. I found it. I found it. Here we go. Wish you were here. And we have a very, very light table. Let's grab this. And we'll stamp that down. So we're using Shy Shamrock, and it's going against the Summer Splash. So a little bit different in shade, but we're going to be using Shy Shamrock in another spot too. So I'm going to keep this little strip out. So Shy Shamrock and Summer Splash. And we don't want to lose those cards that I have off to the side. There we go. Okay, so next, let's grab our Miss M-I-S-S. And we will add that with just a little bit of glue because it's going on the inside of the card, so we don't need to raise this up on dimensionals. Just adding a little bit of glue, and we're going to just put it right up against and center it. So it's sitting on the edge of this piece here. Don't forget the dot on the eye. I almost did that. The sheet that you poke these little words out of, you might accidentally miss that the eye has a dot. Don't forget that. So we'll put a little dot of glue there, grab our take your pick tool, stick that onto the sticky end so that it can help put that in place. So there's the Miss, okay? And then the U can go underneath, same way. You guys, what are you doing this weekend? I hope you're having great weekends ahead. We have had so much rain here in this area. We're going to have like a tropical rainforest soon. It's good though, right? Well, maybe not good. I don't know. Farmers, I don't know. You guys tell me if it's good or not. You're the ones that really depend on the weather. Okay, so there's that. And then this piece we will add, but when we add it, this is where I like the glue dots that you can buy in the online store better than the ones that come in the kit, because these have a thickness to them and it helps to kind of press into glimmer paper a bit better. I feel like you get a sturdier adhesion. So we're putting 3 glue dots on the back side. You can see I'm just exposing one glue dot at a time. And then I can tear that off and throw it away. So now these glue dots should embed into the rough surface of the glimmer paper pretty well because they're thicker than the ones that come in the kit. Highly recommend them. Let's close it up and let's do the front of the card. This is where the cleverness comes in. This is the card, here's my bone folder, that I think you guys will enjoy the most just because I really thought outside the box on this one. Let's put something down there to keep it in place. Let's grab that glimmer paper again and our trimmer. And we're getting close to the hour here, you guys. I'm going to trim off 1/8 of an inch strip and another 1/8 of an inch strip. We don't need that long, but that's okay. Let's turn it over. Actually, let's just put the adhesive on by going like this so we know that we don't get too much. So we're just going to lay it against our card and oops, and we'll add directly right onto the strip like that. And then we can take one at a time. This one's going to get added right to this edge. And the other one will get added to the other edge. And we're just going to trim off the excess. Now, what fruit have we not used yet? There's a couple, remember there's 3 different kinds of fruit in this kit that I mentioned at the beginning. If you have this kit, great. You can actually make these projects. Or if you don't have this kit, you didn't get it, you can subscribe to be a Paper Pumpkin customer. The link is in my video description. And once you're subscribed, you can purchase the refill kit. It doesn't come with the stamps, but again, you could get different sentiment stamps and do something similar. You can even purchase those dies if you are a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber, but you have to have an active account to make the purchase. So activate the account, make the purchase, right? All right, so we're going to trim off the excess. Does anyone know what's the fruit that I did not use yet? I only used one so far. Cherries and lemons? Yes, you guys are right. Thank you so much, Patricia and Cindy. So this card is going to be using the lemons because we have to accent these yellow fingernails that I painted for you. So we're going to grab the 2-size lemons that come in this kit. We'll save the cherries for another project because Rachel has many more that are on her sketch sheet and in her head. We've got little lemons here. So we've got a small one and we've got a big one. There's shading on one side. So we're going to make these guys go in the same direction. And we're going to put them up on dimensionals. So let's take and add 1, 2, oops, they're sticking to my fingernails. 2, 3. If you're looking for information on my nail polish, I do post it every time I do a video now because I am in love with this nail polish. My nails almost died on me using regular gel polish and acetone remover. I no longer use acetone remover. It's a great company to get nail polish from because they have an awesome nail polish remover that I highly recommend. And this polish is like got very few chemicals in it. It's awesome. Okay, so let's lay this down. Let's make this one overlap slightly past that fold line. We want the leaves of the lemon to be within. And this one's going to go, oops, we want it down a little bit further. A little bit further. We're going to go about here. And then this one is going to go here with the leaf overlapping just slightly. Anybody know what I'm making? Now we get the crocodile tool out, or any hole punch that can make a small and a large tiny punch, or tiny hole, I should say. I'm going to grab my other one that has punched holes out of it already. So crocodile can punch out a hole that is, oh gosh, it's not quite 1/4 of an inch. It's slightly smaller. What would that be? 3/16. And then there's another one here. I've got 2 holes. Now we have to flatten them out because they curl up a bit when they get punched out with that massive industrial hole punch. So you just need a couple tiny hole punched pieces from that glimmer paper. Or instead of using that glimmer paper, you could use the stamp set and use like a blending brush to draw it on, or just use a pen, or use the Shy Shamrock marker if you want to use the same color. So now we're going to go and put a little dot here of glue and a little dot here of glue. Grab our Take Your Pick tool. Do you know what I'm doing, you guys? Do you know? Do you know? Yes, Maureen. Yes, 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 Karen. Okay, I'm looking up now and I'm seeing comments. You guys, yes, you are right. And I think I put too much glue on that one because it's seeping out the sides. Oopsie doopsie. That happens sometimes. Okay, so we have a mama fish and we have a baby fish and we have these pearls that we haven't used yet. Forgot to mention that when I colored the pink on these first, again, they were duller. They weren't as bright. You can see they have more of a creamier tone to them. So that's why I went with the other pearls. But we can use the pearls that are not colored yet. And we will just take and grab, and I'm going to look at my finished one to make sure I'm doing this right. We're going to use a lot of pearls on this, so you may want to invest in the iridescent pearls anyways. But we'll go with this color, and we're going to add one here. That's a big one. We'll do a small one right under and to the right a bit, and then another small one right here on the edge. Okay, those are the bubbles. Thanks, Andrea. I like your little emoji that you put on there. And then we'll do 4 on the other side because things look great in odd numbers, right? So if we were to do 3 and 3, we would have 6 altogether. I just think it looked better because I tried it with that. And then I was like, no, we need another one on here to make it 7 total. So we'll do a couple small ones. The bubbles tend to get bigger as they come up. Do you know that? So there we go. We have our biggest ones at the top and our smaller ones closer to the fish. We have a mama and a baby lemon fish. And then when we open it up, miss you, wish you were here. This would be a great card to send to your kid who might go off to college or moved away or, you know, whatever. Your family leaves you sometimes, don't they? So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be family either. You could have like a friend. Somebody's friend is leaving. So you could maybe even do the same size fish if you want to. But I just thought, I was thinking of my kiddo who just graduated from college, from high school. He is moving to college, not moving to college, but he's moving off to college age now. And he's staying with us for 2 more years. So we really, he's not leaving me yet, but I know it's coming. And so I was thinking of that when I made this card. I hope that gives you some creative inspiration. Let's pull in all of those cards. This is not my usual live on Wednesdays. So I do not have the prize drawing thing, but I appreciate you guys participating in the comments as we went along because it makes it more fun, right? So thank you so much. You made your guesses along the way. I do have some Stampin' Up! Info to share with you. Let me get these all out so you can see them all at once. I'm going to zoom out just a bit here too. That way, if you want to, you can take a screenshot or just visit my blog post because remember, the blog post is already live. The reason why I don't make it go live on my Wednesday ones is because I have to add the winners. But I suppose I could make them go live and then just add the winners later. I don't know. Just thought of that. Anyways, those are the finished cards. They're so fun and different, right? Outside the box. Let's bring that up just a little. Can you see it all? I hope so. These were so fun to make, you guys, and I have more ideas that are on the sketch pad, and I can't wait to share them with you. What I want to tell you about next week. So we just had our live on Wednesday, our usual online paper crafting class on Wednesday. And then today we did an impromptu live because I had these projects done. But next week, normally it would be on a Wednesday. Again, my garage sale, my big, huge crafting garage sale is Wednesday and Thursday. And even if I left it up to Trisha and Lisa to do the live for me, Trisha's involved in the sale because she lives close to me. And so we can't be there. Neither one of us. So please don't show up on Wednesday. Show up on Tuesday. We're going to go live on Tuesday, and I'm going to share with you another kit. This kit, and I better make sure I'm telling you that right. What if I'm doing a different project? Hang on. Nope, that's the one. Okay, so this other kit that I'm going to share with you is the Expressions of Kindness kit that is a new kits collection kit that people have been saying, are you going to do this kit? Are you doing this kit? Yes, I am, and I've quadrupled it. So I hope that you come back on Wednesday to see what I've done with that kit. Kits are amazing. Beginner to avid can do kit creations, you guys. I am an avid crafter, been crafting for well over 25 years, and I love to make cards with kits, scrapbook pages, gifts, whatever. You can do avid things with kits. So I hope that you return. We have some fun ideas to share for that. And that will be, again, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central Time on this channel. That is June 25th. And as far as other news goes, I think it's just the 10% off thing I want to remind you about. We have the 10% off the machines this month, and then any stamp set die bundle is 10% off. If you have not ever purchased Stampin' Up! Product before, it's really easy to do. You can either click on the link that's in the description of the video, and that description will transfer over to the Facebook video soon after this is done. But right now it's on YouTube. You can click on the shop button, or you can click on any of those links. It will take you to the online store, and you can purchase these products. If you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, get yourself activated as one so that you can purchase this refill kit. It doesn't come with the stamps and ink, but you can get that extra stuff. And you can get the dies, you can get lots of fun things, and then you can get in on the next kit, the July kit. It is called Painted Petals. Ooh, it's a floral one, and I saw the preview for it. You don't see like everything, but you get little sneak peeks, and it looks like it's going to be really, really pretty. So I encourage you to get in on the July kit. You want to be subscribed by July 10th. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, shopping. I was talking about shopping. So you go to my blog at stampyourartout.com. You can click on the shop button. You can go to the online store. You can shop away. This blog post that's connected to this also has a visual supply list at the bottom. That's sometimes easier to shop from, so you can shop that way. If you're a demonstrator, shop from yourself. And if you already have a demonstrator, show them some love. Enjoy my videos, but then shop from them. Give them some purchase, some sales from yourself, right? So I hope that you all had fun. Thank you, Lisa and Trisha, for being here on this extra day. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to watch with me and participate in the conversation. It's been fun. I will see you next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m. on June 25th for our Expressions of Kindness Quadrupling the Kit video and live. All right, thanks everybody. Take care. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.